Let me record. So let me ask you, despite all the difficult things that's going on around you right now, and there's a lot, my question is, what's the best moment that you've had in the last week?
The best moment I had in the last week was at work when one of my colleagues came into the room and told us that the woman, Nancy Hanna, who gave the money for the facility where my recovering drug addict teens live for their recovery, that she's not doing very well. And he would like to know if we could paint a picture, somebody or all of us, of the facility with her name on it and give it to her as a present.
Oh, nice.
This woman is a millionaire.
Yeah.
She's a very well-known, it's a very well-known name in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And that within moments, I was able to turn around the activity I was doing with my students. And within minutes, we were outside sketching pictures of the Nancy Hanna house. And one of the girls felt she didn't want to do the drawing. So I said, how about, are you a good writer? Can you write her a beautiful letter as part of the card? And she was very on task and did it.
Mm-hmm.
And was able to, with my skills of rearranging the energy of us working on pumpkins to now doing a good deed for this woman,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the man who came to me for a solution of a gift for this important woman,
Yeah.
that I was able to redirect the activities for my girls to feel empowered by their talents, empowered by their wisdom, and make them feel important. And to within an hour, they were creating images and literary words of beauty to give to somebody else to get out of their own self.
Wow, beautiful.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Now, sounds like there was a few star moments in that. So let's have a look at them one by one. What was the first moment of like, wow, to you? What was the first one?
When I saw the girls, when I saw my one girl who has become very artistic since we've been together, being very confident about her drawing and beginning to add paint. And then a star moment was I took her outside and I said, I want you to snip little bits of flowers off of the flower beds that were around so you could get the feeling of the beauty and the color that you want to incorporate in the piece. And she was very excited about doing that. So there was a starry moment while she was engaged with nature, and a starry moment that when she came in and her piece became more glorious and colorful. The whole engagement with nature.
The two things. So the first one, so the first moment was her engagement with nature that you'd guided her to focus there. How did that stay there? How did that make you feel watching that?
It made me feel like I was the most amazing teacher. Like I was able circumspectively to look down from above and say, Barbara Smoloff, you are one badass chick.
So feel that. Where do you feel that?
I feel it in my heart, in my whole being. And I then did a video. Then I was trying to express to people about what it's like to be in a business and have a job and where you are getting out of yourself.
Yeah.
Because these kids were out that doing something for somebody else.
Yeah.
Was helping to help you to have a star moment by doing something to give to somebody else, which we were then doing.
Beautiful. So that realization of that moment, how did that make you feel?
That I was in a humanitarian job, and an educational position that I was extremely it was a high caliber kind of experience, knowing that I am in a job that changes human lives by the way
Okay.
They, as you would say, changing your point of view about everything.
Yeah. So feel the feeling. Don't rush over that. Stay with that moment and feel that feeling. I'm in a job that, say that again.
I am in a job which allows me to help to empower minds and hearts of young teens who are troubled to feel that there is hope in their new visions of being a creative.
Okay. Stay with that moment. How does that make you feel to realize that?
Valuable in the world.
Okay. Feel the feeling. Valuable. I feel valuable. Feel what that feels like. Where in your body do you feel that?
I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my mind. I feel it in my whole being.
So let yourself feel it. Give yourself the moment to feel it. Say what that means again.
I do slip down into some other stories of what's going on that other people in the family don't appreciate me, and I'm sinking. So I've got to keep myself back up again.
Stay in this moment. That's other
Yes,
moment. Let's stay in this.
Yes. Okay.
So this moment is showing you I am valuable.
I'm valuable.
Yes. Feel the feeling.
And that the administrators saw me doing this at where I was working while I was there. There were the big shots that were watching these kids engaging in the outdoors and beginning their sketching, and saw that I, as the teacher, was making this happen. That was like a double whammy.
So when you realized that they saw what you were doing, how did that make you feel?
Like that I'm more important than I give myself credit for.
Feel that. I am more important than I give myself credit for. Feel the feeling. Where's the feeling? Okay, allow the feeling. Let it soften, flow through and out. Let all of you have that feeling all the way through you. And say it again. What did it make you realize again? Say it again.
That I was important and valuable, more important and valuable than I ever thought I could be.
Okay, now feel that. How does that make you feel again?
Important and valued.
Yeah. Okay, feel the feeling inside your body. Show me with your hands where it is. I feel important and valued. Yeah. Yeah, good, good, good. Allow it. Allow it. Beautiful, beautiful. Amazing. And so full of star moments. And we haven't finished yet, because then when you went back to see your student taking what you showed her to look at and bringing it into her painting, when you saw that, how did that make you feel?
The word valuable is coming to my mind, that I felt like she felt valued, that the interaction with the man coming in the room was valuable, that everything had a treasure associated with it. There was a whole bunch of treasures and jewels.
So, and how do you feel with those treasures and jewels surrounded by everywhere? And this moment was full of treasures and jewels. How does that make you feel?
It made me feel like I was praising my student and she was praising me. She says, "You're such a good teacher." I says, "No, you're such a good teacher." That I feel like the ideal teacher is the teacher who wants to empower their student, as you are doing with me right now. And that is, you can't do any better than that as an educator. You can't. There is no better teacher, an educator, that's somebody that wants their students to shine.
And so
that is the
what does
best
that mean about you?
That I am an excellent teacher.
Okay, stay with that. Feel that. Say it again slowly.
that I am an excellent teacher,
Okay.
that I praise my students and let them know that they are the teachers, that I give it right back to them, that I let them know that they are the heroes, not me. I'm only a reflection of them.
Feel what that feels like. Feel it. Where do you feel that in your body?
I feel that around me, within me, that you can't get any higher than that in terms of purpose, of human purpose, You can't get better than that.
Allow that. Stay with that moment. Allow it. Be in it. Let it live in you now. Experience it. Breathe. And what does it reveal to you about you and your purpose? And you are living your purpose. Or what about that?
That even if I feel like I've ever been mistreated or anything, that somehow, by the grace of the universe, I have been able to find the jewels of the importance, the beauty. Well, you were talking about loving yourself, and I didn't think it was possible that I could possibly feel that I have enough goodness in me to be able to have, that somebody saw the goodness of me to hire me, to then be, and then to use my tools in the best way possible, that I am smarter than I ever give myself credit for. I might be brilliant, Barbara, after all.
You might just be brilliant, Barbara, after all. Maybe I really am brilliant, Barbara. Say it. Maybe.
I might be
Really,
brilliant,
I am.
Barbara. And I don't even mind if Sandra Hillawi puts this on her Facebook page.
Well, put it in the group. I'll share a beautiful moment with the group. And thank you for letting us do that.
And I'm going to end this or begin it by saying that Sandra, that I was very upset in the middle of the night. And my teacher, who I came to, my friend Sandra Hillawi, who's my mentor, I was spilling out my guts about how awful everything is in the world. And she was trying to talk about self-love, and I could not understand how that had anything to do with anything. It just, there's no point in even tackling that one, because when you're suffering, self-love cannot possibly be had. And I did really feel like Star Matrix was an angle upon which should have been tackled. And of course, my Saint Sandra, who I was kind of sparring with this morning, took it into her saintliness and teacherhood to turn a situation around for one of her students, to use a modality of energy that's supposed to be very helpful to turn situations around. And ironically, Sylvia Hartland was talking about Star Matrix being the answer, and Sandra knew it and said, come on board, and here I am. So there's something to be said about, even if you don't want to look at anything good, when so much shit is happening around in the world and that's happened to yourself, that there is something healing about it. Absolutely.
And so now, if you just look at, thank you for that, Barbara. If you just now reflect on how you're feeling right now, and yes, still all of this is going on in the world, but how you are now in the world after spending a time of plugging into the best of you and now feeling that, how do you respond to the world now?
Now I feel like that I do feel as if that even if I was just doing a tapping, and I'm going to do a new tapping since our communication now about star moments, that there's still within the tragedy and within atrocities that I see that has happened to me or to other people, there is still glimmers of stars around to grab a hold of that almost seem impossible. But if you take a moment to say, dear energy mind, show me a star moment that has happened this week, even during these atrocities that are going on in this world. And whether you can pull something in personally or even globally, something that could possibly seem positive, that there
What is the effect of that? What is the effect?
that the effect of that is strengthening a person's, instead of feeling so victimized, that you feel like that there is some hope, even when you're feeling hopeless. It does give a person a thread of hope when they're feeling like when you had an experience of working with somebody who didn't really want to be around anymore. And I know you shared that when you made them look at something positive, that it helped them to see their value and the purpose of life, even in the midst of the most worst atrocities. And I have nothing more to say about that, because that's in a nutshell, the purpose of Star Matrix, and being aware of anything that was a star moment and focusing on that is really the purpose of what's really going on in the world, is that actually that our higher power really does want us to look that even in the midst of all the awfulness, there is still hope, even if it seems like you're grabbing onto nothing. That is part of the purpose of being an energist anyway, for sure, is to try and help others to do that. And you, as my teacher, who we come from very different ideologies of our history, that within our group of Star Matrix associates and students, there are people from all over the world coming from complete different ideologies and religions. And there still is humanistic good things going on amongst us to try and have a better understanding of how to help ourselves and help heal others, because that's what we're all there for. So there is that going on in the world amongst people with such diverse ideologies. So if we can do it, then we can share that with others. There is some hope for humanity.
Yeah.
And that's what you and I were talking about, that above ideologies, religiosity, and points of views comes humanitarian.
Our humanity. Right. Yeah.
And that is basically where you're coming from and who you are. And you've risen above that yourself, because you yourself have to dig deep. And so this is an evolution of a star moment for you and I, as well as our group in our meeting this morning.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And look, great to see you shining and again and smiling again. So go forward with that, owning that.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And
your value, yes, your brilliance, your masterful teacher that you are in your world, and the realization of all the star moments around us, even though can be chaos around, there's still moments that will lift us up and let us find the best in ourselves, to be able to
Thank you for reminding me that there was a reason we met with our diversities and all, and our different ideologies and the history of our family origins, that we come from such different beginnings, but that there is a humanistic thread of love and connectivity and wanting to see each other be the best version of ourselves, even with our differences. Wow.
And just look, what is there not to love about brilliant Barbara, like shining there for us? So thank you, Barbara, for letting us.
And I'm going to end by saying, initially, when I was looking for an energy practitioner, master trainer, I had people that said, we don't really want you, Barbara Smoloff, because you're too wounded. And Sandra Hillawi took me in like a like saying, you know, she wasn't looking at the wounds. She wasn't looking at my heart scars or my mental scars from all the what I've been through. Come on aboard, because she looked at me as a human being, had something to give, and that she looked at me the way I look at my students as being healed. She looked at the end product. She didn't look at the woundedness. She looked at the person who was going to come out on the other side as a healed warrior. And that is exactly the way I look at my students. And that's why God brought us to get higher power. So for those of you who are in this deep, there's a reason you're here. Know that. You might not know it now, but after this conversation, I know you'll know it now.
So,
I know it. I've known.
Thank you. So
thank you for letting me in.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Really, much love, respect, and thanks to you.
Thank you. We love you, sweetie.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take a couple phone calls now.
Bye.
A couple things nice. Bye. Love you, honey.